but because of time factor, other way, we couldn't delve deeper into the issue. But I think now being free, it's a perfect opportunity for us to just delve into some of the issues, especially with the EC. So her development are causally in this country at this point in time. I think the issues are such that will overbearing impact weight on the electoral fortunes, on the electoral prospect, and on peace and security of Ghana. At this point, all stakeholders, everybody who is very much concerned about Ghana, must rise to the occasion and help us to say a bit situated within the context as going into 2024 elections. Yen said that certain lingering concerns everything by a mindful for explosion going into 2024 elections. Winim minim. Say yan yet sanyamano anye niye. Na yedene no phone Electoral Commission continue to behave in this foolish fashion na ya omasha asiye. Na saa na yeko assuming a certain belligerent posture. Obia kanyan sasam chira omonte. And what they have decided to do, that is what they will do. These guys are tooling for electoral violence. Our democracy is in jeopardy, is in danger. Because one way or the other, they are giving justification to any possible revolt in the future. Because they are building doubt so far as their credibility, integrity, and the electoral integrity of 2024 election is concerned. So as an Electoral Commission, you have a mandate, a flow right from the Constitution. You are independent. You are in the discharge of your duty. You are supposed to have in mind stakeholders, Ghanaians, and make sure you come out with nearma sabi everything processes. Cool. I'm obiade ni room, but kwanya omonam so na the posturing, the communication, the tone of EC bosses now kwanya nema faswa ekwa. I think that if we are not careful, it could be a recipe for disaster. That is why I was expecting at least so-called civil society some have been doing their best. And penning for so-called and penning for over the years or Matiasi Krum, some will see the need to caution the Electoral Commission on this foolish expedition. Elections have consequences, and there is the need for us to realize that and avert any danger likely to emanate. And one of the key things is conducted the elections from the slate. Everybody will have in mind trust and confidence in the Electoral Commission, the electoral process, so that the election will flow. But unfortunately, here we are. Nearman preceded 2020 elections, started from the register. Your friend is a Ghana card and Kwana Baye Ukra passport guarantor system, and Supreme Court came out with a very weird and very unreasonable ruling. Sabi, what in China was subject to any interpretation. You as an ordinary person will not be able to get anything reasonable from the ruling. But they insisted say you have a birth certificate and just we are Ghana all over the world. Minim baby ukura obakwa or birth certificate enti who dances away a citizen. But the Supreme Court looked right in our faces and told us, birth certificate cannot justify or guarantee your citizenship. Birth certificate na ye can one saying your birth certificate say hospital kekena ya wo at the time of birth, baby a free our country na nkasa is stated on the card, on your birth certificate. So as to whether the person is a citizen or not, that is clearly enshrined or written on the birth certificate. At that point, and don't forget to be from man on no chrome ha. That automatic citizenship no be unless I will be our mammy and or papa be and our great grandfather be a Ghana. So be free Burkina Faso no bahase no babe wa. Nebanon does not necessarily enya Ghana. So birth certificate no benyano will not indicate that person is a Ghanaian. So there is no contradiction, there is no ambiguity in this so far as using the birth certificate to authenticate one's citizenship. But the Supreme Court decided, said no, let's go. Yanko use passport, which is a traveling document, and you and I know, say, if you look at Africa, the very time people go for passport is when they are traveling. Obiti Ghana, even a Hakra passport, because he doesn't need it. Some of them don't have plans to travel outside. But we insisted, say, eno and ubejina so ediaye. It created a whole lot. But along the line, elections number Senecoe, and as we predicted, that particular electoral process was mad with mass fraud, with the whole violence, with whole lot of this kind of idea. The Electoral Commission is tooling to rig the elections. Whole of kakakrebi and 2020 elections resulted in violence because Abraham Bahama a press conference, so or cancer on the election into the microphone that could have been the end point for us. So going into 2024 elections, considering the high stakes in the 2024 election, the last thing anybody might want to think about or bother himself with, and yes, the Electoral Commission assuming a certain foolish and belligerent posture. The same way they will not budge, going ahead to do things that the way they feel say that is right for them. But my catch was that the Electoral Commission and Jean Mensah nena na de no wu ye no di jana sa na nya boss my sare and na wu and the Electoral Commission jana na betena so a waka say de me pena meye. You were appointed on the basis that these are reasonable men of conviction who can use element of common sense, reason, wisdom to guide and shepherd our institution. But these people have common sense, reason, not fortunate. And I had sabi emotions, and they drive the Electoral Commission into a ditch. So as we speak, if you get out there and you ask the ordinary Ghanaian and say, trust and confidence, the integrity of the Electoral Commission, and I'm not sure you get any. Because you don't give a damn about anybody. Because lead the Electoral Commissioner as an umpire, as a referee. Sebi, it is your job to liaise between your friends and various stakeholders, At the time, NDC for a pulley out from IPAC, whatever be the reason, young can say it was wrong. But what pulley out, the integrity of the Electoral Commission was on the line. So as a reasonable and a sensible commission, you try as much as you can to patch, whatever the differences be with, the two of you will be able to sit, deliberate, because we know the essence of the IPAC. But the attitude is, I don't care, Mama Munyai. That is the attitude of the Electoral Commission. Because IPAC now over the years has served as a mediation platform for various stakeholders. Political parties are create certain flexible working relationship among various stakeholders and now could do her and yet discussion I said the Electoral Commission whatever she think is right is imposed. So what will be the need for Bisoka Kotena your friends at IPAC? That is the attitude. They just don't care. And I am saying, the Electoral Commission is not a bona fide property of any of these guys. The fact that maybe you are related to the power that be, and as a result, even the Nipano cry with the conviction, so we can do anything to favor the person as a sensible person. And somebody like Boss Manasare, somebody coming from academia, known, perceived, he's knowledgeable enough for Obaye, Niama or it's on the contrary. Or Kasakra, now you begin to ask yourself, say, Doctor, we are or him because he doesn't speak sense. That is the reality. You know very well, so you're dealing with people whatever be their doubt, whatever be their concerns, whatever be the misconception that is created, you know, as a reasonable institution, you know, you try to meet people halfway just to show, say, these are stakeholders, and you know, more go into the elections. So whatever be their concerns, you know, say you're justifiable, say nyansawum, at least let us sit and deliberate. Senka nyasanetia a ban sign of 4 other political parties are joining NDC now, so on call IPAC, no. Say or the Electoral Commission Echo Court, because at the IPAC crowd more, you know, they never had an opportunity to challenge the decision. It's a platform of convenience rolled out for actors just to, because and so will roll out electoral registration process or whatever. Now we decide this on the district capitals. You could be right, but is it feasible? Can you guarantee say Obia what 10, 18 years? Because for the past 2 years in the more popular is in Yanyebi. So in the last 3 years in here, or more than 18 years in the categories, you know, there could be more than 2 million people. Because last 2 years they were supposed to do the mop-up, which they didn't. Last year they didn't do it, and this year going into election. So across a number of people are more than 18 years, you know, are many. So as a commissioner, you make sure, say, because the last one we did in 2019, was it 2019? Polling centers now. No, I'm before and some year, after elections in the year, no. Polling stations near the year, electoral areas over there, I think that about 1,500. And Sabaya with close proximity, no, from my place, and I can just walk into the place because that again becomes my voting area. People around there know the vicinity. They know who and who are from this area. But if you ask people to go and crowd at the EC electoral office, Nase Ofriba be neba. How do you even determine the kind of constituency in Nibano Friba? It's going to create a lot of problems. That is why I am saying that there is a certain agenda there. And the EC will be in a position to make sure, say, they will put people at where they want them to vote. And that is very, very dangerous if you are not careful. It could be wrong, but that is a misconception. That is an idea people have. That is the kind of thing people have. How do you distill it? How do you distill it? Because it's quite simple. So your friend saying constituency A no be constituency B in the same district, and it's possible because some of the districts, you know, some of the constituencies now cut across some districts, and you know, say polling station A nipa need to me when them vote, you know, abroswa. It means that you need people, the extra people, you can ship them to the other side. And this particular process here, Electoral Commission, can make that possible. That could not be your intention. But the thing is, people have concerns. These political parties have concerns. Why? You are not working for yourself. You are not working for your mother. You are not working for your father. You are working for the people of Ghana. You are working for these political parties. You are working for Ghanaians. So, how difficult it is to behave even for once as a reasonable and a sensible human being and listen to people rather than this foolish penchant here or put it up across here or kasao radio so asabi that is the attitude. Na mudi sang kwasi asem wo ya na se ekodu 2024 election na eji booma anya ba kofo ne bedwane o obi a bedwane wo kroma. Or you think you have security, go to Cote d'Ivoire and ask them. We don't need to get there. We don't need to get there. Because the kind of logic, the constraint, you might think that political parties or more the financial muscles like the NDC, the MPP will be good at busing their people to other areas to vote. But the question that I'm asking myself, let's say, yes, among for disabled people, among for need the resources, people who do not belong to political parties and might not be willing to travel all the way to district. So I can register anything, you know. How do you cater for these people? Because in this MPP there, because of electoral way, they might try their best to ship people to various areas to go and vote and just crowding. So no, I say violence, I shall say, because at the obifri na kura ase aba beduru district level no, how do you even determine any part of Luhana so mfiri? Because people coming from different areas, but in the electoral area and also register at least Chrome what you be no. These are the things that people are asking the Electoral Commission to be at least to be sensible for once. But look at this foolish penchant and belligerence. She's never ready to listen to anybody because no. Yeah, we were. This attitude, yeah, no, and again, don't forget another NDC for a year, your friends saying presidential primaries now. Dr. Kwabra before the Kwaji injunctions or the air to adenosono immediately na Electoral Commission your press conference. So before they were to say that Yentimin conduct elections, nobody officially wrote to you say injunction because no one so afale are there to turn it. In the midst of it, the Electoral Commission immediately issued a statement say also they are not going to, as we speak. An injunction has been filed at the court, but they defiled it. And the most interesting thing, you see, state institutions are supposed to behave as say they are working for everybody. Issue case no file court no. According to press conference and I said you get here, also almost say Chief Justice Tukwan. And the kind of what to know data yade assembly bashakwa and just Chief Justice eba. So are we saying this will be the assembly court? That's a Chief Justice Tukwan just about answer all the data. Look at all these things. We are talking about a country, the judicial system has for quite a long time come under barrages of attack. People have doubt the judicial system no, has credibility issues. People have been talking about it. So the last thing you do is to deepen these ties. But people have decided, say they feel comfortable. So the court will tell you, say, Chief Justice Tukwan, Chief Justice Ba. Now then, court Chief Justice Nabusia Japadi. Enti oyare no da baby if she's indisposed, I see a train on because she has given instructions, say, Obiaba my mobile did this or bansa. Even an emergency situation. So clearly, whoever want to sit anywhere and interpret the situation to look like, say, state institutions are in bed with government to facilitate government machinations and agenda. How do you begrudge a person? And at the end of the day, you expect people to have respect for the court. You can never get that. Because it's like say your and your design it's a template that is being rolled out just to facilitate and ensure say anything government comes out with will go through as exactly what is happening. So today, upon all that is happening in West Africa, upon all the development going on in Africa relative to military intervention, coup, disenchantment, Amanfo expressive protestation stuff at Ekoso in the sub-region, you know. Say Ghana is not better than any of these countries. Consistently, you know, we are stretching things to the point that ever go beyond its limit. And breaking that is exactly what we are doing. Because I told you it's a Gabon. The same electoral misunderstanding the cover by military no ekoji abine because of who's abine being passed no the Jean Mensah Electoral Commission was in bed with the government trying to manipulate the elections. I am telling you, where we've got into, the kind of experiences Ghanaians have had over the years, the kind of bad governance Ghana for this historical ineptitude Ghana for corruption. At this level, no, Ghanaians will never sit down and allow any state institution to manipulate elections or the favor are buying. That will never happen. That will never happen in this country. So we will be a you can even see the signs on the